I'll be speaking on two areas of the platform just very briefly today. The first one is public safety, and then some of the legal issues that arise that are in our platform. So approximately 2 years ago, as we all know, public safety became a huge priority for the government and people. So what did we do? We met with the police. We ensured that they targeted the offenders who were causing the most risk to public safety. We also embarked on a program of implementing new legislation, and we embarked on a deliberate program to mobilize the community to tackle the gang issue. We have a lot of accomplishments to talk of as a result of that. The police targeting of offenders became very targeted, and they called them prolific priority offenders. And the police resources were dedicated to those prolific priority offenders. Our version of Operation Ceasefire was implemented. Our version of Operation Street Safe was implemented. And our version of Operation Nightlight was implemented. We now have electronic monitoring. We made revisions to the Bail Act. We made revisions to the Criminal Code. We made revisions to the Firearms Act. And we ensured that Section 110 of the Criminal Code was also implemented. The Proceeds of Crime Act was also amended so that we could target the assets from those dealing in drugs and gangs. So when we very quickly reflect back, what have some of those results been? The arrest of those priority offenders went up. Shooting incidents went down from the highs that we experienced in 2009 and 2010. Deaths and injuries from shootings have also gone down. Police report the recovery of firearms and ammunition went up. Convictions of those involved with firearm offenses also went up. And there are more persons with gang affiliations now in the corrections institutions than at any time in our history. We are also seeing higher levels and more intense community mobilization, which is absolutely a central plank of what we as a country have to do. So that's a very quick look at what's happened over 2 years. But elections and platforms are about going forward and what comes next. And we acknowledge there is work still to be done. Our overriding philosophy to policing in this country is one of problem-oriented policing and community-oriented policing. And our philosophy now in the next platform is articulated in our new National Crime Reduction Plan. Our number one aim will be to reduce crime, all crime. Our number two aim in this new National Crime Reduction Plan will be to reduce youth offending, reduce delinquent behaviors of youth, with a specific emphasis on the measures to reduce and then eliminate the gang lifestyle as a lifestyle of choice. The ethos through the whole National Crime Reduction Plan will be one of problem solving, it will be one of consultation, it will be people focused as it needs to be, and also performance focused. So what's different, you might ask? What we are proposing goes considerably beyond Operation Ceasefire. Operation Ceasefire is a law enforcement initiative. Our plan goes significantly beyond that. It is not just up to law enforcement. It is not just up to the government. We have to embrace this as a national effort. So what our plan will seek to do is embed very deep-rooted changes in our approach to crime prevention and crime reduction. Remember, we have to reverse trends that were embedded 20, 30, and 40 years ago. We seek to embrace crime reduction initiatives not just in the police and not just in government ministries, but reaching out even further than before into community groups, charities, and other non-government agencies with a singular focus, the reduction of gang membership and the reduction in gang activity. But we're going to push the bar even further because we recognize that this work needs to be performance focused, and we will establish performance measures to be the gauge at any time along the way of how we are doing. We will also be embedding into our plan performance-based incentives to encourage the highest quality of crime prevention and crime production work. And what does that mean? If necessary, we will tie government grants to performance. And we will better align the efforts of government and the police agency and those charities that we are giving money to ensure that their focus, if they're dealing with you, is that singular focus, is reducing gang activity and reducing gang membership. We also have some very innovative plans on the legal system, and our vision has not changed. We seek a more just, a more fair, and a more equitable society. I'll just highlight 4 or 5 of the initiatives that are in our platform. Number 1, we will modernize the sex offender registration regime to better protect the rights of the community. Secondly, we will amend the law to permit the naming of sex offenders under certain conditions where the victim waives their right to remain anonymous. Thirdly, we'll review the laws so that civil debtors are not imprisoned. We will strengthen the legislation regarding the provision of child support. And you can now see how all this ties into our overall plan. And lastly, we'll enact legislation to allow inmates to contribute a portion of their earnings to a victim compensation fund. Thank you very much.
Colleagues, members, Bermuda, good afternoon. It is my distinct privilege and honor to be able to, at this point, connect the dots and provide an explanation and a summarization of the plan and the vision that we as a progressive Labour government have for this country. You will notice that at the center of our mind is that we will invest in people. We have chosen not to take a path of austerity. We're conscious of the fact that we as a people must move forward together as one. And so, going forward, our attention is not going to be on cuts and spending, which can marginalize people from our society. Our focus is on the revenue side, increasing our economic productivity, bringing more resources into the country as an option and opportunity to facilitate economic development. I will touch on a few points in which we are focusing in terms of the revenue side. In terms of the blue economy, our government sees this as a tremendous potential to add revenue to this country. In particular, offshore fisheries, which if we're able to harness the quota that we have, represents up to $200 million in additional foreign exchange earnings to our country, in addition to creating jobs for many of our young men and not so older, but not so younger persons who love our maritime tradition. In addition, in the blue economy, we're going to pursue the development of our seabed through seabed mining. Yes, there will be some trade-offs, and that's why we will ensure that there are proper environmental impact assessments. Seabed mining will be focused on what they call black smokers. And within these black smokers, within our 200-mile EEZ, contains numerous minerals, in particular phosphates. Now, phosphates are in high demand in those countries like India and China, especially as they are used in the agriculture sector for fertilizer. If and when we do this in a pragmatic manner, we can expect millions, if not billions, of dollars to come into our coffers, just by harnessing and utilizing the natural resources that come under our sovereignty as a country. In addition, we're going to give more focus into the development of our energy sector. with the introduction of natural gas, which hopefully can reduce the cost of electricity for every single Bermudian in this country. Let me make it clear, our approach towards economics is to increase the productivity of our people. We do not, as a government, see economics as just money, statistics, and quantitative analysis. We see economics revolving around human action. And that means that our economic development in the future is going to be focused on harnessing the creative ability and innovation that lies right in the hearts of the people in this country. It's not going to be a trickle-down, top-down approach which sees labor, our people, as secondary to our progress. And that is why Dame Jennifer Smith, in her wisdom, has seen to it that we will upgrade our Bermuda College to a university college status, and eventually we will look to get full accreditation as a university. And the reason for that is because we see the need to have an engineering faculty. We see the need to have a nursing faculty. We see the need to have an international business faculty and a marine science faculty. And most importantly, we see the need to ensure that our people understand the value of taking risk and becoming entrepreneurs as we go forward. Not only is this university college concept for our young people, but it's for the adults, those of us who find ourselves in deep economic challenges and the need to retool and have the knowledge and the preparation in which we can be fully functional participants in the new economy that our government is creating. And that full participation is based around true economic empowerment. It's been said after 14 years in government that we have unfinished business, and it's true. The people of this country, the have-nots, deserve for us to help them help themselves. And that means economic empowerment. So yes, we will continue to increase our EEZs so that our people can become more competitive within our domestic economy. But you will notice in this platform the vision of our leader, the need for us to diversify our economy, in particular going into new markets, placing emphasis on the Caribbean, Latin America, the Gulf states, and the African continent. Now, this isn't just to strengthen our international business and our tourism product, which the platform describes our philosophy and approach to being freedom and competition. But more importantly, this is to create an opportunity for true economic empowerment. We're going to encourage our young and not so young persons to think of being entrepreneurs, to see the Caribbean as an extended market of Bermuda, and be ready to be competitive, to compete. And the reason why we're placing emphasis on being competitive, the reason why competition permeates our entire platform, is that we know going forward, and only way for us to transition out of this economic hurricane is for Bermudians to start to become competitive so we can start to cooperate one another. Cooperation, white, black, whoever you may be, is our focus. No matter what happens during this election campaign, our Progressive Labour Party government is focused on the future. And we know that by being competitive and then cooperating with each other, we'll be able to navigate as one country. That is the only way we can move forward together. Our government rejects our motto, Akofata Farand, where the fates may lead us. Today we embrace a new motto, and that means that we are going to become the masters of our own destiny and take our rightful place in not only this local society, but in our global society. We have the vision, and I expect people to take time to study closely the ability and the wisdom that you see in this document. It is a vision that will ensure our future, our peace, and our security. Thank you.